Hi, you tuned in to Gila, Nehemia, Sacred Erotic Poetry, Sacred Sexuality, and Ascension. I'm so excited to be here. It's right before the full moon in Capricorn. We just came out of the summer solstice, and today is the 23rd. Tomorrow is the 24th. It's the full moon. And you might be feeling a lot of emotion. So before we go there, let us take a moment to take a deep breath. So I would invite you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths with me. We're calling in our angels, our light teams, God, Source, Universe, Holy Mother, Holy Father, our ancestors, to assist us in this great awakening, this ascension that we are all deciding to walk into. It is our free choice. We're all deciding and feeling called to totally embrace the new, and really inviting you to connect to our hearts, whoever's listening in on this, and to really open up to anything that you are truly releasing and truly desiring, and know that everything is already here. And any messages that you need to hear at this time, allow them to be shown to you. Open yourself to receive. We ask our angels, our guides, God, Source, Universe, Holy Mother, Holy Father, to assist us in opening our hearts, opening all our chakras, all the 12 chakras, as fully as possible, so that we can be the conduits of the divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Aho, and so it is. Love you all. Thank you for being here today with me. Special day for me today. I don't know. I just feel this peace in my heart and this full surrender to the divine. It's an ongoing process, and even if I've said it before, I need, sometimes you need to say these things in order to affirm that they are your reality. We'll talk about that a bit today. Affirmations, I think, are so important at any time of the day, in any time of your life, because that actually, your words create magic. Your words create your reality, and your thoughts create your reality. And the more that you can harness that power, that magic is, it's unbelievably divine. So I just wanted to share that with you. And so the energies right now, as you know, we are coming out of the solstice. We may still be in some of that energy. It's moving from that into the full moon in Capricorn, and that summer, that solstice energy, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, it's a solstice time. So if you're in the Northern, the sun, that was the longest day of the year. Probably for the Southern, it'll be the shortest day of the year. And so if you're in the Northern, you may feel that that strength, the power of the central sun, this action, deciding to maybe make a change in your life, and so, and then the full moon is perfectly positioned, because you can release anything that you might have been trying to release for a long time. This is the power of the Capricorn energy of, like, really being steadfast, determined, to reach your goals, and not allowing anything to get in your way, even of your awakening and of your ascension. Whatever that is for you, allow that to come through, and to believe in that. And part of that belief, again, is like a complete surrender to God. You may have something that has not yet materialized yet, and perhaps you had to just change the course, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your visions are not coming true. It may not be in the way that you did, that you wanted, which is why sometimes we need to release the storyline and release the attachment. So some of the things I'm going to be talking today about: beauty, detachment, and balance. And those are things, and these are bigger topics I'll probably discuss in one particular podcast. But all of these things kind of came to mind today, and I was like, well, how do I structure this? So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to let the divine assist me in this. But those are some of the things I wanted to share, because that's what I feel the energy is. You know, I opened up, I'll just start here. I opened up Khalil Gibran's A Prophet, and I said, okay, assist me in today's reading. What do I need to share? And so what came up was that he was speaking to them about beauty, the people of what is the name? Orphalese. Yeah. So, and he says, and I'll just read a quote. It's on page 75. If you have the book, you can read with me. And he talks to them about beauty and, the normal things of seeing the sunset and, and rising with the dawn and, just what we normally think of beauty. And he said, and then they say, we have seen her dancing with the autumn leaves, and we saw a drift of snow in her hair. All these things have you said of beauty. Yet in truth, you spoke not of her, but of needs unsatisfied. And beauty is not a need, but an ecstasy. It is not a mouth thirsting, nor an empty hand stretched forth, but rather a heart inflamed and a soul enchanted. It is not the image you would see, nor the song you would hear, but rather an image you see through you close your eyes, and a song you hear though you shut your ears. I'll read that line again. But rather an image you see though you close your eyes, and a song you hear though you shut your ears. It is not the sap within the furrowed bark, nor a wing attached to a claw, but rather a garden forever in bloom, and a flock of angels forever in flight. People of Orphalese, beauty is life when life unveils her holy face. But you are life, and you are the veil. Beauty is eternity, gazing at itself in a mirror. But you are eternity, and you are the mirror. So it's fascinating, how we go from our ideas of beauty, and beauty comes in many fashions, right? We may go to someone to get a facial or get a massage, or we may look at our faces or our bodies and say, this is beauty, or our partner or our children or the trees, or, there's so many facets of beauty. But ideally, beauty is in the heart, beauty is in the soul, beauty is this this ever burning desire. Beauty comes in so many forms, but really in and of itself, beauty is within you. And I wanted to read my poem from a few years ago, and I have moved from this, but some of these feelings are still true for me. So it's also entitled Beauty. It actually found this beautiful, beautiful picture. It was, I'll share the link to Medium because that's the only place you'll see the picture. You can definitely read the poem on Amazon in my book if you decide to purchase it. And it was this picture that was never, seen before. I didn't get it on Unsplash. I just found it, and I don't even remember the date. But it was this beautiful picture with it looked like white flowers on this turquoise background, and just the colors were exquisite. So just keep that in mind, and you can click on the link and in the details to look at it while I read this to you. Nature, memories, heart space, feelings, visions, dreams, smells, senses, souls, movement. Depth indescribable in words, splashing at me all at once, returning stronger, magically touching the recesses of my soul, deeper each time, basking in its radiant, iridescent light, astounding me in exquisite, breathtaking pictures, amorously loving every minute of it, appreciating the thoughts and times, beauty, melodic in all languages, my beloved and I embody it, by the very existence of each other, feeling blessed by the divine, as heartfelt tears of joy stream gently down my face. And I was literally crying when I wrote this poem. And it's not just the beauty we find in another, which is one sentence that I wrote in there. But, you know, just the beauty of all things, you know, the beauty in language, the beauty in time, the beauty in in our souls, you know, the beauty in smells. Beauty is so, you know, it's so vast. And if we use words to kind of, you know, water that down, you know, we're not fully fulfilling the name, you know, the exact, how do I say it? It's even so hard for me to elucidate, but, you know, fulfilling the full definition of what is beauty. And that's what I wanted to share today. You know, it's like part of what is coming through for me today is this beauty. This beauty is expansiveness. This beauty is you. This beauty is everything underneath the skin. You know, beauty is not skin deep. Beauty is the light within you. And sometimes, you know, when we are in situations and habits that keep us back, we are not fully sharing our beauty, our light, and our light comes in many forms. So I'm just asking you today, are you fully in self-love? Are you fully in sharing your beauty? Are you fully sharing your beauty to yourself first and foremost? Are you doing all the things that make you feel joy and make your soul shake? He says here, Khalil Gibran, a heart inflamed and a soul enchanted. And that doesn't necessarily mean with another. It can be, but can we inflame our own heart and transfer our own soul with our own beauty, with the light within ourselves? I feel like that's where many of us are at this point, you know, to totally embody the beauty and the love and the balance in our own lives, you know, come at ourselves and in our presence, in our physical world, with all that we have, and, you know, really be present with the divinity, with the expansiveness, the limitless power of ourselves. It is so, I mean, there's so many layers, right? Even the ocean is not deep enough. It is just like infinite. It's that infinite. That's what I've been feeling today. This infinity, this peace and infinity has been like overwhelmingly coming at me. And it's also the releasing, right? In order to truly embody this, sometimes we need to release things that aren't serving us. And it doesn't necessarily mean it won't come back around, but when it comes back around, it's like karma, you know. When it comes back around, it's going to be in its fullness. So if you're feeling fragmented or your relationships are feeling fragmented, you know, it's time to make a change. And that change may not be easy, especially if you've, you know, been doing something that hasn't necessarily been serving all parts of you. It's not going to be easy, but it is going to be necessary for your growth, to step into more of the beauty and the balance and the infinity and the peace, you know, to step into this, to have this, you know, it's required of us to fully reassess, you know, what has been going on in our lives. How can we be living our truth more, and be sovereign beings and fully let go of whatever isn't serving us and surrender that to God, you know, or just surrender it and let it go in all, in love. You know, and I know I mentioned this last time, but surrender it in love, and in the love of yourself, because you're surrendering it because you, at least for me, like may not have felt whole in a particular situation, or the way I was behaving. I'm not even going to put it on another. The way I had accepted to behave in a particular situation. And so when I decide, okay, I don't want to behave that way, so I cannot continue this type of pattern or behavior for myself. And I want to bring this really, I've been talking about this on Instagram and some of my posts. So if you're not following me, follow me there. But, you know, I have been stepping away from labeling. You know, and there definitely are, you know, like, there are narcissists, there's this, there's that, there's toxicity. But, you know, I'm just owning this, and you may or may not agree with me, but I'm owning that whatever I am feeling in a particular relation with another, I own that I took a responsibility as well to participate in that, whether it's unconsciously or consciously. And that may not be true of all situations in childhood. I don't agree with that, but I do agree as an adult that I decided, even if I was conscious and I knew about it and I still did it, I decided to do that. And especially as a conscious being, as someone who I feel, I consider myself someone who is connecting to my soul and my body wisdom and my heart wisdom. And yet I still feel that I'm not fully ascended. I'm still working on myself. I'm still growing. And I'm still like listening to my inner voice and opening up to all of my gifts. So I own it. And I feel like it's an important point to share, because it's so easy to blame, like, oh, you treated me wrong, you were this, you were that, especially in relationship and romantic relationship. It's really easy to blame and be like, you're the bad guy, that's why I'm leaving, or you're the bad person, so you mistreated me, so now I have a reason. But you know what? Sometimes there isn't a reason. Sometimes we just, like Clarissa Pinkola Estes says, we just need to pick up and go. And it's not because we don't love, it's not because we don't like someone. It's sometimes we just need to change or recharge ourselves. And sometimes that's even hard to explain. It's hard to explain, and we don't even know why, but we know we need to go. And that may be forever, or they may not be forever. We don't know. And it's truly sitting in that place of unknown and just sitting with ourselves and being present with ourselves in all of our beauty. Because I really feel that no matter what the emotion is, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to cry. It's beautiful to be enraged. It's beautiful to mourn. It's beautiful to be confused. It's beautiful to accept what is, what you're feeling, and allow yourself to move through it. It's beautiful to open your heart. So I feel like it's an important point to share about this energy of moving through your life in love, in relation and with yourself, and allowing yourself to do what you feel called to do at any moment, and know that that is that moment. It may not define you. Sometimes we're afraid to make a change because we believed in a story, or we thought it was going to happen this way and it didn't, and we're not ready to make that next step because we feel we're what's the word I'm feeling? I feel like, well, then what was I doing all that time? What story was I believing? But perhaps this is what you need to do to either make that story happen, or the story is changing and it's a different story. But it doesn't matter, because when you trust the divine and you're fully in confidence with your own intuition and your heart, everything is for good. If nothing else, what I say is, I live my highest journey. God, angels, my ancestors, my guides, my light team, help me, show me the way. Show me the way, because I don't know. It's this full letting go of control, this complete receiving and opening of the heart to the divine, to yourself. And this is more prevalent in this energy like no other. It is so strong, this complete surrender and this complete reconnection to our highest timeline, if that is what you're desiring. And it's an important choice point, because we each of us need to make a choice. At every moment we're making a choice. Every moment of our lives is a choice. And if we feel that that it's not a choice, we're putting ourselves in victim mode because we're used to that state of mind, or we're used to that line of thinking. Think again. And I do this too. I'm not immune to this. Also, I can be like, woe is me. This isn't working out as I planned. This is not happening the way I want it to. Why? Why does it have to happen to me? And really then I changed the script and I said, thank you for allowing this to happen to me. And thank you for giving me the consciousness and awareness that I can change my life the way I desire it to be. I can put myself first at any time, and I desire that to be now. I see the beauty in myself. I see the peace and the balance that I can maintain when my energy is full of me. It's full of my own goals. It's full of my own life, and not led by another. For me, the biggest situation has been disempowerment. How I've given away my power to numerous people and things and situations and governments and blah blah, you know. And now I get to take my power back. I get to define the rules of my life. And that has been completely empowering. And I will definitely honor the energies of the central sun with the summer solstice and this full moon in Capricorn, the eclipses that have happened. Like, this is no joke for me. I've been wanting sovereignty for many years now, and having to just define that has been huge this last year. And now stepping completely into it as a free being, you know, choosing this, and also choosing this on my own. You know, always wanted to be with someone, feeling that we have this support together. I truly believe in partnership, and I love being in partnership with someone I truly love. At the same time, it's important for me, and it may be important for you too, which is why I'm sharing this, to do this on your own with the full support of your light team, of your friends, of your ancestors, you know, really feeling finally secure in your own self to make your own decisions for yourself, and not abdicating or, you know, or any of that of your responsibility, but truly owning up to it. So there's such important epiphanies and energies and choices that we're all making at this time, which is why this is kind of seems like almost chaotic energy, but yet there's a peace in the chaos. You know, there's an order in chaos when we allow that order to emerge. And there's clear direction. If you can connect to your own intuitive guidance, there's very, very clear direction. And sometimes we're afraid to do it because we feel like we're closing doors, but one door closes and 10 others open. So closing that, don't be afraid to close a door. Don't be afraid to go over the rainbow bridge. You know, don't be afraid to walk on your own into the unknown, because you are supported. You are being guided. You are safe. You are a beautiful light being, looking into the vastness of your own light. And that idea of balance, you know, I wanted to share that as well. You know, balance is about balance of energies within us, the masculine and feminine within us. And the more that we can be balanced, or find that balance in meditation and prayer or yoga or writing or any creativity that you do, like that, that is gold. That is like changes your outlook on the world, like, you know, a million times fold, because suddenly you have this clarity that is very challenging to have if you allow, you know, everything to come at you. It's necessary to withdraw. So if you're feeling like you need to go within at this time, or limit your social interactions to get clarity, like, do whatever you need. Self-care is super important, especially you know, because I deal with people with chronic trauma, and I have been one myself. So, you know, we're looking for validation. You know, we've been used to getting validation. This is the right path, you know, do this, like, come with us. And, you know, it's like, what is my intuition telling me at this point? What is my heart saying right now? And you can ask this at any time of the day or night. any moment. What do I need to do? And ask for an answer from God, your angels, your guides, your ancestors. You will get an answer. Your higher self, you will get an answer. And the more that you can trust your own judgments, and even ask a trusted coach or somebody like that, just as a sounding board to your own wisdom, because this is something I truly believe, and I want to share this as well. I don't feel like I'm a guide. I was trained as a teacher, and I always, even at that time in my 20s, I said, I am a guide. I don't know everything. I know what I can channel, and I can assist, and I can hold space, and I can even teach you a few things. Though my purpose is to help you, or anyone working with me, or even listening in today, is to help you to find your own wisdom. That's my cat, very vocal. So when you find your own wisdom and your own technique, connecting to your heart or your body or your psychic powers, then you are able to move through your life, even with support, but that you can trust yourself. That you're wise, woman or man. So another important point, and as we're stepping into this full moon energy in Capricorn, really allow yourself to release, become very clear about your goals. So you can go back to your rituals of the releasing on the full moon, letting go of anything, and to write any intentions down that you would like for this next moon cycle, as it's 2 weeks before the new moon. And this is the last super moon of 2021, so it's a super powerful one. And as we said, the goat is very determined, very grounded, goal oriented. This is a time to take back your power. This is what I'm truly feeling like. Take back your power, step into the beauty, the balance, the peace, the infinite steadfastness, the connectedness to Mother Gaia and Father Sky. Really allow yourself to be held in this sacred space of owning who you are, what you want, setting the appropriate boundaries, and being in integrity of your word. Because it's so easy to change the story or go back to an old habit, but you know what? It wasn't serving you, and you were right about that. So make the decision and stick to it. It's very hard. We procrastinate a lot, and I procrastinate too. It is challenging. There's a lot of things I should be doing that I'm not always doing, but I'm not hard on myself. I'm compassionate. I see, what am I doing? What am I doing that's really serving me? What's more I can do to release stuff that's not serving me? And how can I do that in love? Love of myself, love of another, love of all things. Because, again, as my previous podcast, The Power of the Love Within, the more that we can really love from our heart, everything, not just the partner or just the kids and everything else closes out. No, everything. Come into every situation with, I love you, I love myself. How can I serve? Is super, super powerful. So I feel like this time of beauty in any part of the world that you're in, every part is beautiful. We may prefer some more than other seasons, but you know what? Every part of every minute is beautiful. And even if it's a challenging moment, it's beautiful, because what are we learning? What are we moving out of? What are we releasing? What are we connecting to how are we connecting to our truest desires? To really step into the nuances of that, and to allow that to ground into your life, because beauty and self-love is within us, balance is within, peace is within. And it might be hard, it might be hard to put that boundary. It might be hard to stick to that boundary. It might be hard to stick to that diet, and I hear you. I'm with you. be compassionate with yourself. You know, take it day by day, minute by minute. You know, you step back, you know, it's a salsa dance. You're going forward, you're going back, you're going forward, you're going back, but you're still moving. You're still moving, you know, or whatever dance you like, you know, like a tango, or maybe you like hip hop, you know, maybe you like really sharp movements. Like, think about what you like in dance and see how your life reflects that. Maybe you like to be on your toes and you love ballet, you know, maybe you like freestyle, because then you can move freely and there are no rules, there are no constraints. I think it's a really great analogy for our own lives. I used to love to do African dance, you know, because it was very primal and it, you know, it connected to the core of my heart. So it was, yeah, it just opened me up, and it was very earthy, and it connected me to Mother Earth, even though I was sitting in New York City in a little studio. So, you know, what kind of dance speaks to you, and what does that say about your life? You know, how are we in every moment finding out more about who we are? And how are we detaching from the stories that we've been told? This is like this the anthology that I'm doing, you know, detaching from all these stories of how our life's supposed to be, or these boxes of who we're supposed to be. I just did an interview with Serene that's going to be published in July, but how she moved through some very challenging moments of her life. It seemed fairly, you know, fluidly, because you know, she wasn't necessarily attached. She was always kind of the black sheep, so she wasn't attached to any kind of storyline. For me, I was attached to storylines. I always had a detached nature, but you know, there were certain expectations of me that I felt like I should live up to, and not being able to live up to them, or choosing not to live up to them, was a source of tension for me in my life, and I admit that. And that has helped me to grow as a person, to understand that it's okay not to agree. It's okay to go your own way. And first and foremost, you know, consider what you want. This is the time to be in control of what you are desiring, and to go for whatever you're desiring, whether it's wealth or a career. Abundance comes in all forms, including love. And first and foremost, again, it's about you. It's about you. It's about living your best life to your best ability. And everything else comes second. I know I said that in a poem, but it's true. Everything else comes second. And the more that we can step into that new story of empowering ourselves, of empowering others, of living out our own missions, you know, in beauty, in balance, in infinite love, in you know, setting our own boundaries, in reclaiming our power. I mean, this energy. It's huge. It's like hugely moving us into the highest versions of ourselves, continuing to um, lift us into this new being, this authentic being of our hearts. So allow that to happen. You know, I'm inviting you to allow that to happen. Like, really surrender to that energy, and surrender to your biggest dreams, because they're happening right now. And if you're needing any assistance on this, you know, don't hesitate to contact me. I have free 15-minute chats. I do a variety of different, you know, sessions, a strategy, half-an-hour strategy session. I do a group mentoring, personal mentoring. I help you to write your story. I do writing coach. I do lots of things. And if you're resonating with me, you know, take the time to connect. You know, because if you look at my website and then you're suddenly like, oh no, this isn't going to work for me. What are you basing that on? Are you opening your heart to what could be? And are we together gonna open up the box to see how we can create magic together? Like these are the criteria that I feel. Don't, just allow yourselves to be expansive in all that you are and all that could be. So thank you so much for listening today. You can contact me at gilanehemia.com or send me an email at gila@gilanehemia.com. I love your feedback. I'd love to know how you're doing. I'd love to know how you're feeling for this full moon and the past solstice. I'm with you. I love you and I care about you. So if there's anything that you'd like to talk about, I would love to hear that. Thank you. Thank you so much for being you, for being on this journey, for listening to this, connecting with me on this podcast. I so honor you and witness you in your power. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Om Shanti. Shalom. I love you.